Bra, let's call a spade. Government and your papa. No, your papa can be OT. Into maybe I would see to Obama or Sabra Betna and base Sanya Mafama. Nanya Munyamra, or your Babu Kumia Preku. So, Banu the G wagon by on. What the V8 and Bessie our own? Won't tell you any. Me no me any name say economy in my head. Let's stop being hypocrites. And why I didn't? And why I didn't? You see, I quite while listen to so. Cry set so. Economy I better than a man hour. But I mean, suggesting me, man. The baby will be on your own. Ghana found Russia by him. No, really, 20 years. Ever back to normal. Bra, you come and finish.
Ever wondered why there is SONA? Well, that is a reason the president has to speak. The State of the Nation Address is an annual presentation made by the President of the Republic to the House of Legislature about the economic, political and social status of the country. The President also gets the opportunity to share his successes in key sectors like health, education and security as the first gentleman of the land. President Akufo-Addo has had this opportunity at least 7 times in the past, and in these, he made commitments, gave hope, responded to critics, and overall shared an agenda for change.
Mr. Speaker, government will work with Parliament to pass the Affirmative Action Bill to increase women's involvement in decision-making at all levels and enable us to achieve our current objective of 30% participation of women in public appointments. Those of us in public service should acknowledge that corruption is one of the biggest concerns to the people of Ghana. It is the one subject on which a surprising number of people are willing to tolerate a waiver of due process. This is because, unfortunately, public officials are in danger of losing the confidence of the people in the fight against corruption.
President Akufo-Addo is to make his penultimate address to Parliament at a time of great public interest in the governance of the country. Has he been well received by the country?
Me mani me busu de aboa me nti me bom pa ye say 2024 year wo mu ba o mi ansa amla
mani die sia ni say ye na no person na ne mu omre dia sia idie sia tie pa the youth ye bre pa.
Regardless, he has to walk the talk of the 1992 Constitution. Article 67 of the Constitution states that the President shall, at the beginning of every session of Parliament and before the dissolution of Parliament, deliver to Parliament the state of the nation. He faces a minority in the House whose reactions are nearly predictable based on past events.
That we have not been reckless in borrowing and in spending.
Mr. President, we have heard you on your state of promises. And Mr. President, we have heard you that at least sole sourcing is still lawful in Ghana.
So when the president was flying with the private jet, he was borrowing. In fact, if the president was leaving the Flagstaff House to come to Parliament, he had to borrow to pay for fuel. This is the kind of economy that you run for us. You run this economy into crisis because you did not know that in managing an economy, you must manage fiscal sustainability.
This is one of the most hopelessly uninspiring speeches I've ever heard from a president of the Republic. Especially, my brother, on occasions such as this, when the whole country is fixated on you to give them some message of that will provide a glimmer of hope. Ghanaians were all waiting with bated breath to hear President Nana Akufo-Addo outline measures that will give them confidence that something positive is being done by government to turn things around.
The majority, however, shares comforting messages for the president, at least for the sake of his sanity after every reading.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, fellow Ghanaians.
Mr. Speaker, once again want to thank the President for being so candid with us. Mr. President did not hide words. His submission was evidence-based. Everything he's done in this country is there for all of us to know.
Mr. Speaker, as you said, we are going to have ample time to debate the content as presented to us. But clearly, what we have seen is symptomatic of what we are going to say from tomorrow.
If the past is anything to go by, we know the majority will cheer the president on, while the minority will have their say. But I could be wrong. Only time will tell. I am Tutu Adanso.